Hey everyone, it's me Sloth, and in today's video I'm going to be going over the new changes that just dropped onto Vesteria. There are some pretty significant changes made recently, and they may be a little hard to understand, so in this video I'm just going to do my best to explain them to give you guys all a basic understanding of what's going on with this update. If you enjoy these type of Vesteria videos, be sure to subscribe to my channel, because that's pretty much all I do here is Vesteria, and like this video if you do enjoy it. And without further ado, let's just get on to it. So right off the bat, one of the first things you'll notice when just coming into this update is when you go into your bank storage, you now have 2 times more storage than you have had before. So you can now fit just a lot of more stuff into your bank. And also, your normal inventory can be buffed 2 times if you buy like a 799 Robux game pass on like the home page for Vesteria and the Roblox website. It looks something like this. You get 2 times more inventory in each slot, which, you know, it is pretty useful, especially for hunters, because hunters with this game pass can now hold a lot more arrows than they would never be able to hold. So if you're interested in buying this game pass, yeah, you can buy it right on the website for Roblox for Vesteria. But I really think it benefits hunters the most, but anyone can buy it if they just really wanted to, so you can look into that if you want to. But now let's get into some of the bigger things going on in this update, the damage and scrolling changes. So prior to this update, every time you level up, you get 2% attack and 2% defense just passively. But this is no longer the case. You just don't get that at all for leveling up. You still get your stats, you still get your skill points obviously, but just getting that attack for doing nothing is no longer the case. But to compensate for this, they did make it so scrolling gives you 3 times the attack and defense stats as before. And that's only with attack and defense. So great headgears and stuff will still give you the same amount of stats. Statted ancients will still give you the same amount of stats, just more attack. But for example, a great scroll, which used to give you like +2 attack and defense before this update, will now give you 6 attack and defense. So yeah, like look at this. This was like a great scroll with hobo armor, and it now has like +6 defense instead of +2 since it's multiplied by 3. So essentially what this means is that to get more attack and like defense while you play through the game, you're going to want to use scrolls. Like even if you're just leveling up new saves and trying to just get more damage, you shouldn't mind using basic scrolls or great scrolls. You're just going to replace the weapon anyway. So this update really encourages people to use scrolls now, because before scrolls weren't very useful. Like sure, they did like increase your DPS for bosses, like single targets, so that would help out a lot in like getting loot and stuff, like higher chance of getting loot. But that was pretty much it. It didn't really help at all in PvP, and it made little difference when just killing mobs. So now that's no longer the case. You really do want to upgrade your stuff now. But in addition to making scrolling like more necessary, they did introduce a new scroll to make scrolling a bit more easier. If you go to the Spider Queen shop, you can now get dark scrolls. This is the only place to get the dark armor defense scroll. Currently is the Arachnid shop. We can also get the 80k one from here or the Coliseum for 75 Marks of Valor. Basically what the scroll does is it's the same chance of a great scroll working. It doesn't really do any debuffs or anything, and every time it works it's just gonna give you +9 attack. And if it doesn't work, it still like can't blow up your weapon, but it does blow up your weapon sometimes if it fails. I believe the chance of it just blowing up your weapon is on like 7.5% chance. So take it or leave it, +9 attack. I feel like these would only be worth using the more easier they become to get, because you can't even get these from mobs currently. It's just only these shops. So hopefully if these do become a bit easier to get, then people will start using them, because +9 attack may sound like a lot, but you have to keep in mind before this update came out, +9 attack would have been like +3 attack. So it's yeah, it's not the best thing in the world. And I think they're going to try to make curse scrolls a little more rare now, because after this update, curse scrolls are going to be a lot more rewarding than they used to be. Like sure, they still blow up your weapon the same, like curse scrolls have not been touched at all besides giving you +3 times attack or defense, but you get like a +8 stat from a curse scroll, and that's already like 24 stats for attack or defense. So it is pretty good for curse scrolls. You can still get them from Possum and stuff and Tuaa, but I'm sure they might like try to make them a little more scarce as time goes on. On the little topic of scrolling, they also added a new thing that shows you your holy chance on items. So now everyone gets to know that I had the holy might drip, But that is pretty useful, so when you're like trading with people and stuff, you now know like what the chance of a holy working on that equipment is. So that's pretty cool. I don't think anyone's complaining about that there. And even though I already showed Hobo Armor in this video, if you did notice, Hobo Armor did receive like a slight nerf. It now has a lot less defense, but gives you block chance. I don't think this makes it any worse though. Like, if you had like a Hobo Armor with a variant, then you should still be fine, especially if it's like gold or red tier, because the defense from the scrolls already pretty much makes up for it anyway. I don't think the Hobo nerf is that bad unless you just used Hobo Armor by itself, or you were like a pristine or legendary Hobo Armor user. But other than that, if it's fierce, or the DPS usually just becomes better than the defense anyway, unless you're doing PvP. And even then, knights have a hard time getting killed even if they do use this Hobo Armor anyway, so I don't think the Hobo nerf was even that bad, but you could still use this definitely. But another big change you'll notice now is the new level cap is level 50, which you can just get by grinding pit very easily. I don't even think it took me that long to get level 50. Maybe it's just because I'm too used to grinding the game, but you can now level up all your slots to level 50, which is amazing. But there isn't any level 50 equipment yet, so it doesn't really even matter that much. But I'm guessing this is just some preparation for the new like Badlands expansion coming out soon, where like there's going to be a ton of like level 50 items, I assume. So, yeah, level 50 is pretty cool. You can get your last skill point, which I'm pretty sure Warlocks and Clerics would love, because Warlocks and Clerics, they just need like one more skill point at level 49 to just max out all their skills, so that's also really cool. Now, there are also some other changes made with Cleric. Cleric got like a little buff to make up for Resurrect just being useless, and they also buffed Heal on Cleric. I'll show you the stats right here. Heal got a cooldown like buff, and now has a 3-second cooldown instead of, I believe before it was like 5 seconds. So clerics can heal a little faster now, and the radius is bigger too, so they can heal a lot more people easily. Even if you had it like level 9, the radius can be a lot bigger than before the update, and I assume putting that last point will make it even bigger once I get level 50 in this save. And also Resurrect has a 10-second cooldown. Resurrect wasn't really that useful since they removed the death penalty when you die, but you could still use it in Spider Queen, and I think that's pretty much what that is for now. You can just res everyone in Spider Queen no matter what. And you can also just, I don't know, if you're that one cleric in Coliseum that likes to res people, you can do it a lot more easier now instead of having to wait like 2 minutes, so. Cleric buff, I don't think these were the worst thing in the world. A lot of people don't really like Cleric PvP because they say they heal too fast and stuff, but I don't think it was the worst thing. Why did I think I just hear a spider? Oh, 10 seconds on the server. Oh.